I'm Jim Czek. You're watching Kelowna Now. I'm here at Team Fitness again with Liz Sage.
Hello, Jim.
We're going to work on jump training.
We are. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
There was a movie, I think, right? White men can't jump.
Well, we're going to find that out today. That's what we're going to find out.
It's not something I do all the time, like jumping.
No.
So plyometrics, really? Is that
it's plyometrics, but it's kind of a fancy word that a lot of people get scared of because plyometrics can be really quite dynamic and versatile and moving around a lot of floor space. But the reason why we're talking about jump training is that there is some new science out, and jump training has always been beneficial, but athletes particularly are more inclined to work jump training into their routines for explosive power. And a lot of people think, well, I don't need explosive power, but in fact, we actually do.
As we lose it, I saw somewhere that as you age, you lose your ability to jump.
Yes, and we do that. We lose it because we're losing a lot of things along the way. So you know what we lose. What kind of things are we losing?
Muscle.
Muscle, yeah, for sure, muscle, right?
Obviously tied to your ability to jump.
That's right. Muscle is a big part of springing, ourselves up off the floor, or pushing ourselves away from things. But also, what else are we losing as we age? Yes, we're losing balance, but why are we losing balance?
Mental sharpness? Guessing now.
Now you're guessing. Okay. Bone.
Oh,
right?
bone.
Our
right?
bone
yeah,
health.
Yeah,
our bone health is changing. Okay. Our bones are more fragile. Osteoporosis, etc. So jump training can actually reverse these deficiencies. So for sure, it's going to help us with our bones. It's also going to help us with our muscle. But we do want to have some pre-workout before we get into jump training. So all along here, we've been kind of following a pattern of, developing strength. That's, a big premise of what we've talked about in the past. And so as we start to develop strength, we can do more jump training and it can be a little bit more explosive. But we have to get ourselves there. So we're going to talk today a little bit about how we sort of enter into the jump training space and not overdo things so that we risk we get some injuries. We want to mitigate injury, and that's why we want to have progressive, patterns of jumping.
I just turned 62.
Congratulations.
And, thank you.
You made it.
And I've been putting on muscle, thanks to you, which is not really usual for somebody in my age, is it?
Well, it's harder. It's much harder to put muscle on. It doesn't mean you can't. Men more so than women as we age, particularly women in menopause and post-menopause. Women have a really difficult time putting muscle on because we don't have the same levels of hormones at that stage. But it's not impossible. It just means we have to work really, really hard, much harder. Eat protein, not necessarily eggs, but eat protein, you and your eggs, right? So the idea is that you can gain muscle, even women in menopause can gain muscle. We just have to work a whole lot harder, and we really have to be key with our nutrition as well to support that, right? But the idea is...
And you have to have a Liz in your life.
Well, you need to follow some good science for sure, and I'd love to help. But the idea here is that we want to be careful, as we are starting to jump, that we are not over jumping before we're actually ready, before our joints are ready and before our muscles are ready. So weight training and strength training and progressive work brings us into that. Yeah. Now it doesn't mean you can't do any jump training as you're starting your strength training, right? Or even if you're not strength training, you can do some really light jump training to start things off. But the idea here is that in conjunction with the strength training, it's one of those modes of working out that is really going to be helpful in the aging process, right? So that we are strong and mighty to the very end, right?
My superpowers, my granddaughter says, I got superpowers.
You do have superpowers, yeah.
She does.
Oh, she has.
That's what she said, I have superpowers.
Muscle is a superpower though. Muscle and bone health is a superpower. So one of the things that everyone can do is just 2-foot jumps, right? And so skipping is one of the things we can do. But skipping 2 feet, stiff legs. So you're pushing off the ground. So 2 feet, right? Now, if you just hammer the floor, you can actually feel it in your knees, right? So
off the front of your feet.
We want to be off the toes, but we don't want to be like absorbing. We want to stiffen our legs and jump, okay? Now, the interesting thing is that a lot of people don't realize how much weaker they are in one leg to the other in just general strength, right? So just jump on 1 foot
I'm going to say this is my weaker one.
Okay, and now jump on the other foot.
For sure. Stronger.
Right? Okay, and I'm the opposite. So I'm weaker on my left, stronger on my right. Okay, so now take a line on the floor there, right here. So, and go on your right foot, and you're just going to jump over the line and back.
This way?
Yeah. So now we're adding a little bit of balance, agility in there. Yeah, now we still want to have that strong landing, right?
Okay.
So we want to laterally go. And you want to do that, yeah. Not just this one exercise, but for a couple minutes. So you could just go on one foot, back and forth, right? Until you fatigue, you know, to 7 out of 10. And then don't worry about speed, but rather strong.
I'm doing that so I don't fall down.
Strong lifts. True, that can happen. That's it, okay? So 2 foot, you know, you could put a skipping rope in your hand, right? Practice skipping, right? You could practice 1 foot skipping, right? I like to not have a skipping rope for people who are just starting out, right? Because it's something else they have to be distracted by. So just pretending like you're skipping.
I can't dance, so I can't feel the rhythm.
Okay.
Seriously.
Because you can't dance?
No.
I'm sure you can dance.
I can't hear the music.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, not the beat.
Yeah, got it. All right, so that's something everybody can do, okay? Now, if you feel it in your knees, then maybe you're not ready to do jump training yet, or perhaps you're not doing it correctly. You know, you're falling into this position here. Instead of pushing off your toes, you're kind of collapsing into your knees, okay? Now, once you feel competent and stronger in just coming off the floor, then we want to jump onto things or jump away from things. So if you're doing 1 foot back and forth, you can start to jump
almost like hockey training.
Side to side. Then you can add elements forward, back, right? Up, forward, back, up, forward, back. So you can play around with things, right? Okay, so why don't you try that? Side to side. That's it. Yeah, forward, back. That's the way, forward, back. Yes, awesome. Okay, all right. And it only takes a few minutes to kind of get the feel of things and get warmed up. But if you can jump train even as part of your warm up, right?
You get the heart a little bit.
A little bit of warm up that way, but also you get it into your workout a couple, 3 times a week, 5 to 10 minutes to get things started. Now we elevate the game by jumping on to something, okay? And this way, we're gonna start to see the difference on just a small elevation, right? So you're jumping up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay?
So just jumping.
Up and down. Yeah, try not to get too far away. Just so back and forth now. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. So just up and down, up and down and up and down and up and down. Yeah, so give yourself some target to go through, something that's not going to move around and shift on you, right? So, and if you can get, you know, to the point where you're jumping, you know, considerably higher, that's more explosive. That takes a lot more work, a lot more muscle in the bone.
Feel it in the quad.
Totally feel it in the butt, yeah. So now you have the forward and back, but you also have the side to side. So it's a different mechanic. Yeah, good. And then we can go over and back. Excellent. Perfect. All right. So we can elevate this up to a little higher. And then we've got a little bit more work. So
Give the other foot and go.
yep. That's it. Well done. Was this your strong one or your weaker one?
That's the weaker one.
That's the weaker one. Me too. So we're the same side. Yeah, definitely a weaker side for me. Okay, and then you've got lateral, side to side.
So this way?
Yeah. Whoop. Brace those abs. Give yourself some support this way. Yeah, it's quite different, isn't it? Yeah. So, and the brain, you know, is not accustomed to jumping laterally.
Feel awkward this way.
And on your weaker leg as well. Yeah, definitely. And it's interesting because when you jump from 2 feet to 1 foot, you'll even feel how much more confident you are on that stronger leg. Yeah.
Because the balance seems to be there for sure. Right?
Yeah, it comes from your strength. So you're going to always start from 2 feet, yeah, to 1 foot, and then back down. 2 feet to 1 foot and back down. There you go. Okay. So all of these things can be done pretty much anywhere, right? Even a park. So now we're going to look at extending our distance rather than going from lateral side to forward and back. So just a broad jump and up and then walk it back. All right, so I'm landing harder and act.
Beat you, right?
You got to beat me, yes. Right, so that strong landing, right? Try to just give it, that's a little bit, just a little bit. Yeah, this was my sport.
Was it?
Back in track and field, long jump. Yeah, okay.
Didn't stick the landing.
Now, you don't have to go as far as you can go because you want to be safe,
right.
But doing repeats, right? So I'm here, and then I hustle back, right. And I do it again, and I hustle back. Okay, so that one there is one you can add into your workout as an actual routine. There you go. Yep. Okay, all right, so we're trying to really work those abs strong so it stops you from going forward and from going back, okay? All right, so let's take a look at another way we can use a little bit of jump plyometric landings. So we can do,
Scissors.
Yep, so we're just on the spot, just coming up and down. So rather than doing a scissor, we're actually jumping, right? So we're up, down, up, down. Okay, so come back into the middle. Okay, and we're gonna put 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, so you're off the carpet. Go a little further forward. Okay, now we wanna land in the exact same place as we started, but opposite sides. So take your arms, come downward, change. Yeah, arms back, up. Yeah, so instead of leaning forward, you're actually going straight up, straight down. Yeah, nice and smooth. That comes. Okay, and then we can take it to a higher level, back and forth. Get out of the way. Two hands rather than two hands rather than one. Stop, bring your arms down. So every time you come landing, you bring your arms down. Up, switch, down. Up, switch, down. So rather than lifting your arms way up here, just come to here, like you're eating a double-fisted ice cream cone. That's what I tell my people. So it's up and in, yes, out. You got it. No, you had it. That was right. And then back in. Every time you go up, your arms are coming up.
So
1 foot's back. 1 foot is back. You got this. Right, so we're here, arms down, arms down, arms down, and then again, up switch, arms down, up, arms down. Got it. Okay. Nice work. That gets the heart rate up, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So that is splitting your jumping, right? Okay. And you can do, a variety of up and corner, up and corner, up and corner, right? Just changing how you dynamically move things. So start in the middle, or feet together, and then go to the middle, sorry. Yep, and then back to the side, yep. And then inside leg, inside leg, and back. Yep, now try 2 feet, and then 2 feet back, yep. And back, yeah. Yes, okay. So same idea with your skater hop on the floor. We can now take it to the side where we're literally jumping on, jumping off, jumping on 1 foot, or we can go 2 to 1, 2 to 1. It's really, it takes some brain work to try and get off on 2 feet. Now go 2 feet, push equally. So try not to let 1 foot take off on you. So 2 feet side. Yeah, see the difference? Yeah. 2 feet to 1, there you go, and then off. Yep, feet together, yes. Good, now turn around, do the other side. Your brain wants to take off on the outside foot, but we want it to take off on both feet. 2 to 1. Yeah, feet together, 2 to 1. Yes, that's it. Good. All right. Okay. So there's all kinds of things that we can mess around with to try and make it. It's going to get fired. To make it varied, but also progressive as well. Okay. So 2-foot training, and we're learning to jump up on things progressively so we can actually get higher and higher in our movements. We're going to start off, we can do 2 foot, and back down. Okay, like so. We can do 2 foot to 1 foot and back down. Switching sides and back down. And then we can also do 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot, 1 foot, 2 foot. All right, so play around a little bit with those kind of jumps. 2 foot to 2 and 2 down. Yeah, don't get too far away. We want to try and stay close to our apparatus so that we can have that upward motion as opposed to too much forward motion. Remember to take off with 2 and distinctly land on 1. Yes, the motion is upward vertically rather than horizontally with this one. Yeah, good. Okay. Now we start to level up.
Imagine if you could try to teach me how to dance.
I could do it. I've taught somebody before how to dance. All right, so that's 4 inches in height.
Yep.
This is more. This is many more. Okay, and we know that you can jump this high because we practiced. We did a pre. So the idea when you start to elevate your height is to remember that you want to go upward and use inertia as your advantage, right? So body in motion will stay in motion, standing up, walking down. Okay, so we want to drop in rather than dropping forward. We want to use the quads to pull us up. So give me what you got. Abs are tight. Straight up, stand up, yep, and then forward. Walk, or backwards, sorry, back down. Okay, let's do it again. Stay close, or closer. Abs tight. Straight up. Yep. So this is a good example that, and you'll see this on, what did you say, it was TikTok or something? Yeah, where people get up, they trip as they're coming up, and then they end up falling over the, yeah, box jump fails. I think I've seen that on it. So, yeah, so we don't want to just get up. We want our feet to come up off the ground. So we want to pump up those feet. Yeah, here we go. Up, up, and walk it down. And again. One more. Yeah, and try to really get right on the landing of it so the box doesn't tip over on you. That's great. Now, it's not about how high you jump initially. I mean, eventually, you're going to need to have higher elevation in order to fatigue, right? But initially, this is high or lower than this for people, okay? You can just start with your steps, and jump on 1 step. As long as you're starting to do some impact. And it's the impact that actually helps us increase the bone density, and it's the it's the push off, not necessarily the landing, that's going to allow us to develop our muscle. Yeah, the muscle. Yeah. Okay, so you want to give it a try on the high box then?
Is there a net?
I'll be your spotter.
So we're going for a viral moment, is that what we're doing?
All right, so again, same thing. We're coming upward. We can use our arms to help us lift, and you're good to roll.
People don't like blood, so turn the camera off and start bleeding.
Abs tight. Here we go.
Ready?
Yep.
Ready?
I'm ready. You ready? Lift, right up. That's it. Ta-da. And then walk it down. Yeah, and be careful. The jumping down at this height is really unnecessary. That's it. Good. And then you can do the same thing working on lateral jumps. So you're here, right? And coming down. It is much harder. Yeah, it's much harder. You can also come from here to one leg and come down.
It's like a crate.
Abs tight. There you go. Yep. And the body wants to push off like on one side, right? So we want to make sure that we're coming straight up and down. Mm-hmm. Great.
Actually, that's easier than this way.
You find that easier going laterally? Yeah, some people will. It just really depends on your, your own body mechanics. Then you can throw in, other tools that are, yep, little. Right, so you can get different angles, right? And then up, right? Or, now notice as I go over, I'm strong as I push up, right? So play around a little bit on that. That's a Bosu. That's it. Perfect. Good. Just my team. Yeah. Okay. So when we're using things like this, we can actually put in, well, you can do this on the floor too. So let's start on the floor. So we'll start here. So an air squat, just up and down. Yep. Just try not to lift your hands too high so you can actually use them. Good. Okay, now we're gonna do a quarter turn. So we're gonna air squat, quarter turn to the mirror. So we're here, look where you wanna go, and then come back. Yep, and then go the other way. And come back. Yep, and then go back. That's it. So adding that in there as well is another way to work on your rotational strength. And then you can use this as well to do that as well. Have a pop.
So starting here.
Nope, start this way.
And where am I going?
You're squatting, and you're gonna turn to the mirror. So the left foot's gonna come up on the box, or the ball.
This foot's coming up there.
Yep.
On that foot's going up.
Yeah, just turn, look at the mirror when you come up. Okay. Boom, and go back. Yeah, nice one.
I think we're gonna have to finish it for today.
That's confusing, that's confusing. Yeah, so there you have it. It's nothing fancy. You don't need all of these different tools. You can just do the basic broad jump. You can do the lateral skaters.
How far should people be able to jump as they age? Like what is like it shouldn't be a contest, I get it, right?
And it never should be. And this is a really important question to bring up because you can't compare yourself with others.
Yeah.
Compare yourself with yourself,
Yeah.
right? The whole you should be able to do these things says who, right? Says
TikTok.
whom. Right, exactly. Yeah. But we do want to have stronger bones and more muscle in our body as we age so that we're, competent and confident. Competency leads to confidence, which means we get to do the fun stuff better as long as possible in our life, right? So the more we can work on improving where we're at is really the answer, right? It's not about what we should be able to do, because who says that? Everybody has different mechanical issues, stresses in their body, back challenges, all these kinds of things. So meet yourself where you're at when you start and say, okay, can I make a 1% improvement on this? Let's do it. How do I do it? Yeah, compounding. That's right.
There you go.
Yes, we talk about that all the time. All right, so let's put that into place. 5 to 10 minutes, a few times a week.
You can jump.
You can jump. White man can jump.
That's right. I just proved it.
Nice. Yeah.
And thank you for watching Kelowna Now.